Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder. Today we're diving into a filing from Cushman Wakefield, the big real estate services company. Let's see if their latest report is going to be a smooth real estate deal or a total fixer-upper. This report mainly covers their annual shareholder meeting and a key vote on how they pay their employees. We'll look into what was voted on, how the votes went, and what it all means for the company and its people. Were the shareholders happy? Were they not? Are they on the fence? Let's find out. If you like having company filings turned into simple English, subscribe and join our Discord channel in the description below. First, a little background. Cushman Wakefield is a big player in commercial real estate. They help companies buy, sell, lease, and manage properties all over the world. Think office buildings, retail spaces, warehouses, that kind of thing. They're a global company, but they're actually incorporated in England and Wales. Now, let's jump into the heart of the filing, the results of their annual general meeting from May of 2025. Basically, this is where the company's shareholders get together and vote on important stuff, like who gets to be on the board of directors, who audits their books, and how the top executives get paid. One of the big things they voted on was an update to their management omnibus plan. That sounds fancy, but what it really means is a plan for giving employees company stock and cash as a bonus. This is to get people to stick around and work hard, to keep them happy so they do not look for a job elsewhere. The shareholders had to approve this plan to make it official. The plan gives the company the option to issue about 9.4 million ordinary shares, plus some possible extras down the line. If you want more detailed information about the plan itself, you can check out their proxy statement, which is a document they put out before the meeting to explain everything that's going to be voted on, but we are going to focus on what actually happened. Okay, let's get to the votes. This is where it gets interesting. First up, they had to elect directors. These are the people who sit on the board and help guide the company's overall strategy. Michelle Feldman was voted in with about 23 million votes for versus only about 6 million against. Jennifer McPeak also got the thumbs up with over 27 million votes. Looks like the shareholders were pretty happy with these choices. Next, they had to pick an accounting firm to check their books and make sure everything is on the up and up. They chose KPMG and it wasn't even close. Almost 220 million votes for and just a little over a million against. Then there was another vote for KPMG to be the company's auditor in the UK too, with similar results. It seems like the shareholders trust KPMG to keep an eye on things. They also voted to let the audit committee decide how much to pay KPMG. A vote on this passed without much issue. Here's where things get a little more interesting. Executive compensation. Basically, they asked the shareholders if they were okay with how much money the top bosses are making. This vote is advisory, meaning the company doesn't have to do what the shareholders say, but it's a good way to gauge how people feel. About 206 million voted in favour and close to 3 million voted against. So it passed, but by a much smaller margin than the auditor votes. They also voted on how often they should have this kind of vote on executive pay. The choices were every year, every 2 years, or every 3 years. The shareholders overwhelmingly said they want to vote every year. It makes sense that shareholders would want to keep a close eye on executive pay. Then there was a vote on the company's directors' remuneration report, which is another way of saying how much they pay the directors. Again, this vote passed, but not by as much as the vote to appoint KPMG. Finally, back to the big one we talked about at the beginning. The vote to approve updates to their employee stock and bonus plan. This passed with about 23 million votes in favour, so the employees can breathe a sigh of relief. So what does all this mean? Well, overall it seems like the shareholders are pretty happy with the way Cushman Wakefield is being run. All the proposals passed, but the votes on executive pay and director pay were closer than the others. This might be a sign that some shareholders think the top bosses are making too much money or that the company should make better use of it. It is also a pretty important signal that the shareholders approve the plan for employee stock and bonus. In a company where human talent is critical, this shows that at least the shareholders are bored with keeping those incentives. From the looks of these results, the company can proceed with its current plans without too much opposition from its investors. So, what's my take? Cushman Wakefield seems to be navigating the commercial real estate world reasonably well. It is a big company, so it is not particularly nimble and quick. The shareholder votes show general support, which is always good, but some of the narrower margins on pay-related items could signal future pressure. It will be interesting to see if the shareholders will approve of this again next year. They might want to consider how to better align executive pay with company performance. Talk 'em all fast. Also, in the grand scheme of things, Cushman and Wakefield operates in a cyclical industry. So a keen eye on broader economic trends is necessary to really understand their long-term prospects. Alright, that's our breakdown of Cushman Wakefield's latest filing. What's your take on these numbers and what they signal for the company's future? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps, and subscribe for more deep dives. Don't forget to check out the Discord in the description. See you next time.